Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. First and foremost, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I hope everyone was able to go out and enjoy a Monday St. Patrick's Day, which is a little weird having St. Patrick's Day on a Monday, but I hope everyone had a great day. I did my usual. I poured the first pint down the Port Tavern at 9:30 in the morning. Believe it or not, there were some people in there then. I've done that the past 3 years, which is kind of a cool little tradition for me. As many of you know, I worked at the Port Tavern for quite a long time. I also worked at the Park Lunch, which was another stop I made sure I made on St. Patrick's Day. And I actually had some corned beef. I actually got to MC a luncheon at the Masonic Temple. It was for Housing Support, Inc., which is a great nonprofit. It's been around in Newburyport for 35 years. It's a regional nonprofit. They've got a couple housing units in Amesbury, and this was like really the first fundraiser they did, and they were able to raise quite a bit of money. Again, they do just such great work, and housing is such an important issue right now in the region, right? I think I would say when I have my office hours every week, people coming in looking for help around housing is the number one thing people come in for. And again, this is an organization that just looks to help those people stay in their homes, find homes, deal with substance abuse sometimes in cases, and then trying to help those people in recovery, and then find housing as well. So it was a really great event. It was about 200 people there. Senator Tarr, Representative Shan, and Essex County DA Paul Tucker were all there for speakers. So it was a great event, and it was a lot of fun. We had the Murray Academy Irish dancers there as well. I saw them a couple different times throughout the day. So in any case, Erin go Bra, Ireland forever. I hope everyone had a wonderful day and got to enjoy a little bit of the Irish that day. A couple of quick facts around St. Patrick's Day. In Newburyport here, the Park Lunch typically goes through about 500 pounds of corned beef. This year it was 425, but typically on average, it's around 500 pounds of corned beef just on March 17th alone. And then a place like the Port Tavern, as far as how many kegs of Guinness do they go through, they typically order 30 kegs of Guinness for that St. Patrick's Day weekend. So just a couple of fun facts about some of our businesses in town celebrating St. Patrick's Day. So let's get to some city stuff. So budget season is here. At this point, all of my department heads have submitted their capital improvement plans and their budgets. And so we've started to have those one-on-one interviews that we do every year. Typically, that's the mayor's office and the finance office. We sit down with each department head and kind of line by line go through what they're looking for this year. We talk about like up-to-date funding this year as well. We really do. We go through every line and talk about where we think we're going to land. Could we maybe reduce that line a little bit this year? What are we kind of forecasting for next year? So we've begun to have those conversations, and we've had some good conversations so far. And there's a lot of things to think about, right? We've had a lot of contracts that are being negotiated. Right now we have the fire contract that's actually in City Council, and I believe we're pretty close on settling the teacher contract as well at our schools. So those two contracts will have a big impact on the budget as well. So we'll hopefully get those finalized here pretty soon. I mentioned the capital improvement plan. We're doing a whole new capital improvement plan this year. And so, all department heads had to enter through our software, OpenGov, that we use here at City Hall. They had to enter in their projects, and then they had to rate it, right? We set up a rubric. So every project is now going to be scored. And we're hoping that this answers the City Council question about having some more prioritization inside the capital improvement plan. So I think this is going to satisfy what they're looking for. I think what you will see this year is you're going to see a lot of projects not show up in this CIP that you did last year. Last year, and past practice was, we just had this gamut of, it's a 5-year plan, right? But we'd have this gamut of projects that we are working on. And I think a lot of those projects wouldn't necessarily be considered that they were going to get done in that 5-year plan. So we wanted to go back and again put some thought and put some ranking behind them. And then what you're going to see is you're going to see really truly projects that we think we're going to do in the next 5 years. Then all those other projects that could happen after that will be put in the appendix, right? This is a good example of one, is the headquarters at the fire department. They just got a brand new fire station down the west end. We love it. The Cutter Fire Station, it's great. But we're probably not going to move on. We still have to do a lot more, planning and thought behind what's a renovation of headquarters look like, Page headquarters on Greenleaf Street. So that will be in the appendix. It won't be in the 5-year plan, right? And there's some water projects too that I think are out there. And I've said this before. I think we have like $60+ million in water projects. In the next 5 years, that number is probably much less than 30. And so we're going to try to address that in the CIP too. So we're excited about that. I think the feedback that we've received from department heads is that it was a good process to go through this first time around, and they thought it was pretty user friendly. It wasn't complicated, so that's good. So we're still kind of putting that all together, and then we'll submit that budget, the CIP with the budget in May for that first weekend in May, first city council meeting in May. So that's the budget, all right? So that's, again, we're excited about that. We're having some really good conversations. I've talked about, I do think this is, when I say a lean budget, we're going to be really thoughtful about looking at every department this year and try to find efficiencies and find ways to be more effective, trying to do more maybe with a little less. And that's across the board. So like I said, we're trying to limit the impact on residents as much as possible. So again, I'm looking forward to budget season this year because I do think we have some opportunities throughout all of our departments to find some savings. And so it's going to be great to talk about that with City Council. Let's talk about Port Rec at 59 Low Street. We've had one meeting with Budget and Finance. We have another meeting this Thursday, so tomorrow night, 6 o'clock here at City Hall with Budget and Finance. So this is about what they're deciding on is will this project, there's two things they're deciding on. One, we've tried to put a thoughtful plan together, right? And the biggest thing about the plan is I'm trying to limit the impact to residents as far as increases to their taxes around this project, right? So, debt exclusions are usually used for either multiple projects or really big projects. This isn't one of those, right? Even though it is a significant project, it's not one of those big projects. So I thought if we do this way, there's two things. One, we're putting it in the hands of the voters to decide with a debt exclusion vote, and we're targeting May 6th for that. So that's one thing that they'll be deciding the council on March 31st, which is a week from Monday. So that's one of those things we'll be signing. So we're hoping that we can get 8 councilors to agree that yes, this should be something we've put 3 years of work into this project. Now it's time to make a decision. Let's put it in the hands of the voters, and let's make sure in the next 6 weeks that we get the correct information. And I know that sometimes that's difficult nowadays, is to get the correct information out to residents so they can really truly measure how they feel about the project and what's the impact going to be on them. Like I've said all along, what we're asking for is a debt exclusion. It's for the average homeowner in Newburyport, it's $38 a year. Again, a little over $3 a month. And another huge important thing to know there is that we have a few things that are currently getting taxed to residents for debt exclusion votes, right? It was the high school way back when. It was the middle school and the new Bresnahan School and the senior center. So all those things are already getting taxed. One of those things is falling off this year, and that's the high school. That's finally falling off this year, and that was $39 a month. So what we're really doing is it's a -1 that we're proposing, right? Because $39 is going to fall off that debt exclusion bill, and we're trying to add 38, right? So it's a -1. So we're going to talk about that a lot more. I hope most of the conversation, though, focuses on why this building is important, right? And it's not just about a building; it's about a department and what we can provide residents of all ages here in Newburyport. There's going to be a great memo that the superintendent of schools, Sean Gallagher, submitted, kind of just reinforcing like, hey, our gyms are being used all the time. So like that narrative of like, oh, we can just use the schools. No, we can't, right? And so I think, in all of this, we've just been so lucky that we've had a recreation and youth services department be able to weather this storm the last 3 years and still provide high quality services to the city. And now it's about what more can we do with a dedicated space where people can come and connect and they can offer more programming, not just for the kids of Newburyport and provide great services for them, but also for the adult population in Newburyport who is living longer and wants to be more active and make connections in town. That's what it's about. So this building is really for all ages here in Newburyport. So we're excited about that. Again, get involved, write a letter, come to a meeting. Again, tomorrow night is a good time to come for public comment, but March 31st is the big night. And I hope what we can all just agree with there is like voters should be deciding this. And so that's where I'm hoping the council lands a week from Monday, March 31st. So keep that on your calendars. Another big news. I just found this out last night. The Institution for Savings Charitable Foundation just voted last night to pledge $250,000 officially to the Port Rec at 59 Low Street project. There'll be more information coming out. I think the bank is going to do a big press release, but we are so thankful for the Institution for Savings for continuing to invest into Newburyport and its residents. They were big fans of this project when we pitched it to them way over a year ago now. And so we're hoping this is the first of many commitments that we're going to see around the city towards this project. So again, thank you to the Institution for Savings. Thank you for all you do for Newburyport. Really quick, you've probably seen some articles in the paper around the Parklet program, outdoor dining. They'll be coming back soon. I am a huge fan and supporter of the outdoor dining program. I want it to stay. I want it to live on because I think it's such a unique aspect that we bring to our city. I think people really love it too, and it's really beneficial to our restaurants here in town. What I brought up to the council at the last meeting is right now I don't think the program's sustainable, right? Like we got a grant during COVID, we bought all these parklets. There's going to be wear and tear, there's going to be maintenance, and right now we're not making enough from the rentals of these parklets with restaurants each year to be able to keep up with that ongoing maintenance and purchasing new ones and whatever happens down the road. So right now, this year, it's going to go on as planned, but I do hope City Council brings up this conversation and we can talk about it a little bit more because I do want to see this program continue. I don't think it should go away. I think it's a great thing that we're doing here in Newburyport. We just got to find a better way to do it, I think, in the future. So I just wanted to say that real quick, and I'm excited for that to come up. Just lastly today, I'm going to bring up former mayor of Amesbury, the first mayor of Amesbury, Nick Costello, passed away. And I didn't know him very well. I did get to meet him a number of times in my life, but I didn't know him very well. I mean, he was a giant in Amesbury, but he was also a legend in the region as well. It's been well said the last couple of days. The reason we have Maudley State Park was because of Nick. He was a state representative. He was a state senator. Again, then he was the first mayor of Amesbury. They named their transportation center after him in Amesbury. His son, Mike, who I've become close with, is very big supporter of mine, also a state rep. I mean, just a wonderful family man. First of all, just my heart goes out to the family, especially Mike. It's a sad day when you lose a legend like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit when Byron Matthews passed away. When you have these giants that did so much in your community, that always showed up, that was there to help no matter what it was. I mean, I think you'll read in the next couple of days how much Nick Costello was involved in different organizations in town. Truly leaving a legacy and a mark, and he will be very, very missed. So again, condolences to the Costello family in the passing of former mayor of Amesbury, Nick Costello. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. I hope everyone can get out there and enjoy some good weather. I'm hoping it's going to get a little bit warmer. We can get outside. Spring sports season starting. Projects are going to start starting back up here soon. So get out there and enjoy it. And I will see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.